Honourable members, prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in their sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served. Their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana, Africa. Amen. Honourable members, there be no message from His Excellency the President and formal communication by the Speaker. We will proceed to take item numbered 5. Correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. Honourable members, correction of vote and proceedings of Wednesday, 28 May 2025. Under correction, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Yes, Honorable Member for Afajatu.
Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, with your indulgence, let me kindly invite you to page 8, item 7, sub-Roman number 1 and 2. Speaker, respectfully, if you look at number 1, it says 37th sitting held on Friday, 21st March 2025. When you go to the second one, it says 38th sitting held on Monday, 14th March 2025. I think that the 37 rather precedes 38th.
You are right. Table office, take note.
Thank you.
Most grateful. Page 9. Page 10. Yes, Minority Chief.
With respect, my colleague I know has been very critical in paying attention to correction of votes and proceedings. And I commend him highly for it. But I just have a different view. I observed yesterday, I am sure it was the 37th edition that was considered first. That was the one that was considered first and was followed up. Table office can confirm. It was followed up. So what is there is right. The order is right. That was the order of proceedings, how it happened. And the vote and proceedings is giving a summary report of what happened. So I differ on this note. Of course,
the point that he's making is that if you see item 7.1, Roman numeral 1, 37th sitting held on Friday, 21st March 2025. And Roman numeral 2 is 38th sitting held on Monday, 14th March 2025. So the question therefore is that...
He's right.
Yes,
right.
That's why I said he's right, and
he's
table
right.
office
I
should
am
take
wrong.
note. Yes.
I am wrong.
Thank you very much. Page 10. Page 11. All members, in the absence of any further correction, the vote and proceedings of Wednesday, 28th May 2025 is hereby adopted as the true records of proceedings. All members, we then move to the official reports. We have the official reports of Tuesday, 25th March 2025 and Wednesday, 26th March 2025. I shall proceed with the official report of Tuesday, 25th March 2025. Honourable members, the floor is now open. The floor is now yours for corrections. Honourable members, in the absence of any correction, the official reports of Tuesday, 25th March 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, official report of Wednesday, 26th March 2025 is under correction. Any correction? Honourable members, in the absence of any correction, the official reports of Wednesday, 26 March 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, may I have your permission to vary the order of business so that we can take item numbered 7 before we come to item numbered 6. That's at commencement.
Speaker,
yes.
My colleague should make the application to you, and then you can grant it or otherwise. He should make the application.
So you mean to say that by our rules, I do not have the authority to seek your indulgence to vary the order of business?
You know, I would never challenge your authority. But I want to see my colleagues also performing. They cannot leave all the work to
Am I within the rules?
Because you are well within, but they have to be performing. Government side, make the application.
If I am within the rules, then let's make progress. Honourable members, I think I have your indulgence. At commencement of public business, item number 7, presentation of papers. The following papers to be presented. Item numbered 7A. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the minister himself is around. So if we can go back to take item number 6, so that the minister will walk in and do the presentation himself. No. Who said?
Honorable Deputy Majority Whip, I think at conclave, we reach an agreement on this issue. So
Very well,
please do the
Mr. Speaker.
needful.
You know, the minister was also of a different opinion about it, but I will seek your leave to lay the paper on behalf of the majority leader.
That is exactly the item that I have mentioned, 7A.
So, Mr. Speaker, we are laying 7A.
So, table office. Item number 7A.
Proposed formula for distributing the National Health Insurance Fund for the year 2025.
He made an
Yes.
application to you, seeking your leave to lay the paper for and on behalf of the majority leader. And he's supposed to bow. He knows that. I didn't see him bow. Any of you saw him bow? He should bow properly. You can't do this. That's not bowing. Bow properly.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague was so busy looking at the back.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, you want his head to hit the ground for you to know that he's bowing. Honorable members, item number 7A. So, Deputy Majority Whip, you can bow once again. I've mentioned that, yes. So, table office. Mention the item.
Proposed formula for distributing the National Health Insurance Fund for the year 2025.
Honorable members, the paper has been duly presented. It is referred to the Committee of the Whole for consideration and reports. Honorable members, let's proceed to take the item numbered 7C. Well, we cannot take the item number 7C now. We will have to take the item number 7B before. I saw the minister this morning. Yes, Deputy Majority Whip. Deputy Majority Whip. No, B, item 7B.
Mr. Speaker,
No,
the report.
it was rather the minister responsible for health that was in this morning.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
Minister
yes.
for Health and okay.
Yes.
Speaker, you see, when it gets to this point, we help our colleagues to prosecute government business. We cooperate with them. But when it gets to a point where they have to cooperate with us, they will not. Honorable Champion, look into my eyes. You see how I'm cooperating with you. The finance minister is not here. Yes. So tell your minister for health and seek the leave of the speaker so that the minister of health can lay the paper for and on behalf of the finance minister. These are annual reports. Do that. Get up and do it.
Mr. Speaker, luckily we have the health minister with us. So with the indulgence, I want him to lay the paper forward on behalf of the finance minister.
Application granted. Let the minister responsible for health lay these papers on behalf of the finance minister. Item number 7BI.
Annual report on the management of the energy sector levies and accounts for the year 2024.
Honourable members, the report has been duly presented and it is for the distribution to honourable members. Item number 7. Honourable members, report duly presented and it is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report. Is that the Finance Committee? Yes, item number 7BII.
Annual Public Debt Management Report for the 2024 financial year.
Honourable members, the report by the item number 7BII has been duly presented and it is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report. Yes, Minority Chief.
Speaker, with respect, I'm seeking your leave for the first item. If it pleases you or finds favor with you, we can involve the leadership of the Energy Committee in your referral. A while ago, you are referring to the Finance Committee. I thought since the energy sector levies an account, if we could involve the leadership of the committee of the.
Well, that must be the decision of the House. So,
Mr. Speaker, it causes no harm because we used to engage the leadership of the Energy Committee in the previous parliament. So I think we can repeat same here.
So, honourable members, let's go back to the item numbered 7BI and add the leadership of the Energy Committee. Then we can move to the item numbered BII. So your application has been granted. The leadership of the Energy Committee are accordingly added. So let's now move to 7BII.
Budget performance report in respect of the Ministry of Finance for the period January to December 2024.
Honourable members, the paper by the item numbered 7BIII has been duly presented and it is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report. Honourable members, we have to defer the laying of the item numbered 7C. Item numbered 7D. Yes, Honorable Deputy Majority Whip. 7D.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, want to step down 7D. The finance minister will come and communicate to the House as to how to proceed.
Very well.
He wants to stand it down. 7D, and he's waiting for the finance minister to be here. In the first place, the item is not advertised in the name of the finance minister. He should look at it well. So the finance minister has no locus. What he should do is that he should seek your leave to do it on behalf of the chairman. And he should prefer reasons why he's stepping it down. Simple as that. And we
Is the
proceed.
chairman of the finance committee available?
Mr. Speaker, I'm the vice chairman of the committee. So I am the vice chairman of the committee.
In the absence of the chairman of the committee, I
so,
am
Mr.
inclined
Speaker,
to grant
we are
permission.
indulgent. We would like to withdraw 7D, and then the minister has suggested to present a fresh bill for consideration so that there's no need to bring any amendment to this effect. So we are going to bring a fresh bill. This is the instruction from the finance ministry. So we are withdrawing 7D, and in place of it, we'll present a new bill. Thank you very much.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, we are always cooperative. And I hope my colleagues will acknowledge and appreciate that. So you want to withdraw it. Prefer reasons why you are withdrawing it. And then that will be fine. The reasons are not enough. Give good reasons. We want to listen to you.
Honorable members, having listened to the Deputy Majority Whip, I think what ought to have been done is to withdraw the amendment bill that has been introduced, pursuant to which this report cannot be presented. Because what is on the order paper, item numbered 7D, is report of the Finance Committee on Ghana Cocoa Board Amendment Bill. Therefore, if the indication is that the bill pursuant to which this report is being laid would be withdrawn, then consequentially, there will be no need taking this particular report. So in that case, we'll wait for the writing to be done so that the bill is officially withdrawn. Then it will have consequential effect on the item 7BD. Thank you very much, honorable members. We will then have to move back to item numbered 6. Honorable members, before then, we have our revered student visiting us. May I have the pleasure to announce their presence. First on my list is AME Zion Girls Senior High School, led by Obed Ankoma, a teacher. They are from Efutu. They numbered 67. I remember the second on my list is Sinclair International School, led by Evans Osei and Sana Bosson. Or the name is Evans Osei Sana Bosson, assistant head teacher. They are also from Efutu. They numbered 61. The third one is Janjazi MA Basic School, led by Bismarck Yevuibo, headmaster. They are also from Efutu. Last on my list is Takrady SDA Basic School, led by Ishmael Kwesi Bentum, headmaster. They are from Takrady. They numbered 58. On my own behalf and on behalf of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, I welcome you all May you have a fruitful visit to Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Once again, you are warmly welcome. Honourable members, item numbered 6, statement. Honourable members, we have a statement on the election of MMDCEs made by, or we've taken that statement already. I think this was a statement we deferred.
Yes.
Very well. So, statement on the election of MMDCEs by Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempre, Member of Parliament for Ahafuano North Constituency. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate your kindness for giving me this opportunity to make this statement on a matter that has been of concern to every Ghanaian, the election of metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executive. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has, since the promulgation of the 1992 Constitution, practiced a system that allows the appointment of MMDCs as enshrined in 1992 Constitution. That is Article 243, Clause 1, which states that there shall be a district chief executive for every district who shall be appointed by the President with prior approval of not less than 2/3 majority of members of the Assembly present and voting at the time. Mr. Speaker, this practice has over the years come with its challenges and impeded the smooth operationalization of our various district assemblies. We all witness to these challenges, but have confronted our governance system over the years due to this practice, from the friction between MMDCs and MPs to issues of where loyalty and accountability of appointees lie, among others. Mr. Speaker, as a country, the winner-takes-all syndrome has been a phenomenon that has been spoken about widely by Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, we are again witness to several lip service attempts made by political authorities in the past to address the issue thereof. Unfortunately, all the attempts came to naught. The sitting president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, while seeking to be elected president in 2012, made a promise to do this, and I quote, "I will ensure that the Constitutional Review Committee proposed constitutional amendments and passed to involve the people directly in the election of MMDCs," end of quote. This is well articulated in the 2012 NDC manifesto, page 93. For 4 years while in office, 2013 to 2016, President Mahama made very little or no effort to see to the fulfillment of that promise. Mr. Speaker, the MPP on the page numbered 141 of their 2017 manifesto also made a solemn pledge to oversee the direct election of MMDCs to coincide with 2019 district-level elections. After strenuous efforts in seeing to the fulfillment of same, we all remember the disagreement that ensued, leading to the regrettable halt of a process the government has spent huge sums of Ghana cedis to undertake. Mr. Speaker, I will not want to recount the wasted effort of the then government that sought to amend Article 243 through the introduction of the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2018 to the 7th Parliament by the then Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Ms. Gloria Akufu, on the authority of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The bill had gone through the first reading and referred to the Committee of Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. The committee had done all necessary consultations and deliberated extensively. on the bill and reported to the House. Mr. Speaker, the chairman of the committee at the time, Honorable Ben Abdallah Banda, in presenting the report of the committee on the 29th July 2019, articulated the importance of amending Article 243. Key amongst them were that, one, it will create an opportunity for very competent persons to stand for election as MMDCs. Two, it will reduce incidences of having unpopular candidates appointed as MMDCs, leading to some misguided people possibly removing or chasing out MMDCs after the president has nominated them under the system. Three, it will break the winner-takes-all syndrome in Ghana's politics. Four, it will fully democratize the government system. Five, it will promote local democracy by allowing local people to choose their leaders. And six, it will minimize the perceived tension and acrimony between MMDCs and honorable members of parliament. Mr. Speaker, we have all agreed in principle, that is both NDC and MPP, and this was indicative in the report of the Constitutional Review Committee chaired by Professor Albert Kojo-Fiajo. What we have disagreed on is, to date, is the approach as to whether political parties' involvement must be made legal or election without direct political involvement. What we have failed to avert our minds to is the already subtle involvement of the political parties, even in district-level elections. Mr. Speaker, the time has come again for us to revisit these very important discussions on the election of MMDCs and to find a lasting solution to the matter. We cannot keep reviving our wounds every 4 years when chief executives are to be selected to man our various districts. Let me use this opportunity to remind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama of his promise in 2024 NDC manifesto on page 145, where he pledged to do this, and I quote, to strengthen local level participation and political accountability through the election of MMDCs on a non-partisan basis by amending Article 243 and 246B of the 1992 Constitution, end of quote. Mr. Speaker, the President, in his recent inauguration of the Professor Henry Kwesi Prempeh-led Constitutional Review Committee, was keen on this matter. We assured him of our utmost commitment as an important mighty minority to seeing through the amendment of the said article to benefit our country. I believe that the non-partisan election of MMDCs will be the way forward. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, since today is my maiden statement, I seek your indulgence to thank the good people of Enyina Susu, Betiakon, Abonsiaso, Tubriso, Trebidi, Asusiae, Jaho, Manfo, and Akwesiase, and the entire Ahafo North constituency for giving me the opportunity to represent them, and I pledge to be their worthy ambassador. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for gracing me with this opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, statement ably made, and it is now for your comment, subject to the restrictions imposed on us by Order 93.5. Honorable Frank Afriye, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Speaker, permit me to pat the maker of the statement at the back for raising an issue as important as the election of MMDCs, not on partisan basis, but on a political basis. Speaker, oftentimes, it is the case that all the political parties will unite during electioneering campaign time. But once power is won and we get to the judicious allocation of resources, That is where you find a lot of troubling issues. Speaker, at the local level, many of us work. And once you partake in the work, you must benefit from the spoils of power. But that is where the issue lies. And so it is very important that he brings forth a matter as important as that. And this is not just about MPP or NDC or any other party. It's quite applicable to all the political parties that have won power with the onset of the Fourth Republic from 1992. Mr. Speaker, the time has come for us, though the appointment of MMDCEs is a constitutional imperative, but I think that the Constitution itself is organic. The time has come for us to subject it to scrutiny and to do the necessary changes that we have to do by electing our MMDCs. Because sometimes the nomination process becomes so chaotic, as the maker of the statement has said. Because during the process of having assembly members to endorse the nominee, you have forces for and forces against. And where negative and positive clash, of course, there will be flow of current. And sometimes it can really be troubling. Speaker, at the local level, we have a lot of people. We must seek as channeling resources to them. And once you are not elected, you do not feel the burden to be accountable to the people on ground. As respected members of parliament, we know that we have gone to the electorate and they have given us their mandate. And so almost always we are guided by that, and we know after every 4 years, we will go then for renewal of our mandate. And so we are constantly accountable. When you get a chief executive so nominated, who is not popular, he feels extremely unaccountable to the people on ground. That in itself can derail progress. And so the time has come for us to fasten the process of election of MMDCE, as almost all presidents in the past have committed. I believe strongly in the promises of John Mahama. He promises and delivers. And then we are all adding our voice in unison to ensure that barring any unforeseen circumstances, we will, this is a government that delivers, we will see to the election of MMDCs in order to promote governance at the local level and also to promote democratic accountability. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, honourable member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And let me commend the maker of the statement for bringing such important issue to the floor. The Speaker, MMDCs play quite an important role in the daily politics of this country because they oversee the disbursement and proper utilization of a very important fund that goes into the district. However, we've always seen that sometimes their appointments come with some sort of chaos when their elections are ongoing, most especially when the president's choice is not what party people or what the community support. So I would like to also add my voice to the call, the need for election. The Speaker, this will help us in the sense that the people themselves will elect people that they know are competent, people that they trust, and people that they know are well placed, who know the dynamics of each constituency or each municipality or district. They know these people can help them achieve the developmental objectives and agenda of the district or community. And when this happens, it will be less prone to chaos and violence. Mr. Speaker, conflicts in districts usually also arise when there's a seeming tension between the elected or appointed officer and the member of parliament. And elections will also ensure that this tension is reduced to the barest minimum, because both people, the MP and the MMDCE, would have been elected by the community or constituents themselves. And when that happens, partisanship will reduce, because, for example, if you come to my constituency and the MMDCE is elected, it will likely be the will of the people. It will not be because of a partisan position that the person be because of the will. And if the will of the people doesn't go in tandem with the will of the president, this is where the chaos comes. If the will of the people themselves elect their own MMD, then the resultant chaos. So, Mr. Speaker, this statement has come in the proper light, and I think the majority at this point have the numbers enough to affect the changes that we all wish to have. I once again end here commending the maker of the statement for this very.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Fred Agbenyu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me start off by commending the maker of the statement. The Speaker, I think that this statement has come at a very good time. It is true that almost all the political parties have agreed that what we are going to as a country, there will be the need for us to elect our MMDCs in our various districts. Mr. Speaker, they have mentioned the tensions and the problems that we all go through between MPs and the DCs in most of the districts. The extent that the district thinks that it's not elected by the people and so it's not necessarily accountable to the people, and that the MP who is elected by the people becomes the only person who carries the entire burden, and in most cases, they even try to undermine the MP. The Speaker, there's something that all of us, for whatever reason, we gloss over when it comes to this election of MMDCs. The Speaker, it almost becomes like the cocoa season for our assemblymen. These are things that normally we don't want to talk about openly, but we know the things that happen. The things that sometimes some of these nominees have to go through before they even go through the voting exercise. The Speaker, when it comes to the fore, they are arrested. When it doesn't come to the fore, we pretend we don't know what is going on. The people have to go and borrow money to go and pay in some cases to some of these people before they are elected. Now, when they take office, where would they get the money to pay back the money that the other went and borrowed, the loans that they took to be able to go to the exercise? So, Mr. Speaker, I want to really support the statement that we need to review the law and make way for us to elect competitively our MMDCs. And when we do that, we'll be able to get the right caliber of people to represent us at the various assemblies. I am happy to note that the government has decided that at least 80% of the District Common Fund will go directly to the assemblies. It calls for us getting people who have the competence and the skills and ability, and people who see themselves as being accountable to the people that they are governing to be in charge of the district. Once they know that their power comes from the people, I am sure they will serve the people diligently. And so, Mr. Speaker, we want to invite you to assist us to review the law so that subsequently, presidents do not have to appoint these persons again, but we elect them to serve all of us. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you. All members, can we take 1-1, then turn to leadership? Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. To contribute to the comment made by the Honorable Eric Nanajma Krempe. Mr. Speaker, today in this country, our constituents believe that the Member of Parliament is an agent for development. Even though the local government system provides that the district assembly or the municipal chief executive is supposed to champion development in our constituencies. This is so because, Mr. Speaker, we do not elect our MMDC. And the people feel that the Member of Parliament has the obligation to bring the needed development. And I believe that if we all come together and champion this cause so that we elect our MMDC, then the MMDCs will have that responsibility towards the people in championing development and also be accountable to them. Today, we vote for assembly members, then we jump MMDCs, come and vote for members of parliament, and then vote for the presidency. I believe if we start to elect our municipal chief executives or DCEs, they'll become more accountable and then enhance civic engagement within our constituencies. And also, Mr. Speaker, this will help them to prioritize the needs of the constituencies because as it stands today, an MMDC will come based on appointment from the president. He will take office, and the key things that might be important or that the constituents would want, he, based on his priorities, will decide otherwise. So I speak in support of the statement that the time is ripe that we elect our municipal chief executives. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Yes, Honourable Erika Fu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And let me thank the maker of the statement for a wonderful one. The Speaker, I remember in the 7th Parliament, this issue cropped up. The two sides of the coin agreed that the MMDCs will be elected through the universal adult suffrage. Unfortunately, what mixed was the modalities as to how they will be elected. The Speaker, I would like to add my voice to the call from the honorable member that if you are not able to elect the MMDCs, they will be continue to be not accountable and not to be responsible for the citizenry within their communities. Mr. Speaker, I would like to dwell on finances a bit. The MMDCs, who is not elected through the universal adult suffrage, controls all the finances within the assembly. All the finances within the assembly. The MP who has been elected through the universal adult suffrage, the finances of the MP is controlled by the MMDCs. That continue to give us a lot of problems within the various communities. The Speaker, to be specific, let me say that the District Assembly Common Fund, all the 100% goes to the Assembly. The 5% of it, which belongs to the MP, is still controlled by the MMDCs. What the MP can do is that he can only recommend, make a proposal to the MMDCs that I want to build a school here. That is all. Either the MMDCs will give that will agree, will not agree, depends on the powers of the MMDC. So, Speaker, I think this is a high time we change this structure. Mr. Speaker, the district development facility is controlled by the MMDCs. The royalties from the natural resources within the community is controlled by the MMDCs. The funds they collect within the vicinity is controlled, the IGF is controlled by the MMDCs. And therefore, the MP is incapacitated financially. Where the money is, that is where you have the power. So I'll add my voice to the call from the honorable member for us to go back and make sure that the MMDCs are elected so that they'll be more accountable and responsible to the people within their vicinities. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, leadership.
Speaker, I think it will not be out of place if I commend you highly for your decision to admit this statement. In the wake of the fact that yesterday you had to defer it today because of a matter that you had to deal with. I want to commend you for having held on to the faith and ensure that this statement is delivered today. Let me proceed further to commend my friend, my good friend, the Honorable Ajiman, who I must say that he had earlier spoken to me about this matter and the decision to present it in the form of a statement. Speaker, I don't wish to repeat many of the contributions that earlier speakers have alluded to, but just to reference what Dr. Afo said. Let's not get it wrong. Nobody is drawing a coalition course between present MMDCs and MPs. That is not the intent of the statement. And in this time and age, people often draw hasty conclusions. We are not fighting MMDC. We think that since the 80s, we've practiced a system, a decentralization system from the 80s all up to this time. And the experts say that change is a constant. And humans, we can't remain and say that the passage of time we won't change. Because it has become important. And because I have engaged you personally on same matter, and you have reverted our minds to the fear about the appointing authority losing its powers. Appointing authority losing its powers. We can take all these concerns, varied concern, in good stride, and take a patriotic position as a country. For me, few observations. The confirmation of MMDCs, even though largely has been smooth, there have been a number of violent-prone areas and incidents all over the country. Just a simple exercise of going to vote on MMDCs degenerates and it creates security concerns. So that must be dealt with. And I think one of the processes that can be used is the election of MMDCs. It will also reduce the tension, the needless tension between MMDCs and MPs. Our roles are defined. Significantly different roles. We play our roles as a legislative arm of government. They have their roles to play. Yet, we are almost at each other's throats. Needless. We can borrow, and there are genuine fears. People make the fears that, well, if we do it, the minority will be controlling certain portions of the country, and the country will be divided. It's neither here nor there. That will reflect the will of the people. If it is the will of the people that a certain person should occupy the MMDC position, you can't change it. You can't change it. Why is it that the MPs are elected? We are ex-officio members of the assembly. The MPs are elected. The assembly members who go to confirm the nominees are also elected. I see my colleague, the Honorable Kosa, is here. I'm sure Mr. Speaker knows you very well. Don't worry, he will recognize you. Don't worry. Mr. Speaker will surely recognize you. So the assemblymen are elected, MPs are elected, and it's only the MMDCEs that it happens that a small section of people go and vote for them. Because I think it's high time we open up this matter and ensure that now you have 2/3. You have said that, the last speaker said that the Honorable, His Excellency the President, is fulfilling all his promises. Now you have 2/3. Go ahead and amend the Constitution and ensure that MMDCs are elected. Don't wait for anybody. You don't even need us to do it. Go ahead and do it. You may not even need us. 2/3, you can do it. Because on a more serious note, I want to plead that this matter shouldn't just be subjected to normal lamentations and we go home and sleep. Speaker, let's sustain the conversation for some time to come. And to that end, I want to employ and plead for your wisdom for probably some consequential directives. The local government committee is a very active committee. The minister we know as a very experienced member of parliament, Nabu Ahmed, has been in leadership for all this while. He's also passionate about this matter. Then we can follow through to this matter all to its logical conclusion. As a nation, we need to depart from what is happening currently and help in fomenting our local governance structure. So having said this, Speaker, I also want to plead, I know you have gotten to leadership. The Honorable Kosa is here, if it pleases you. He was immediate past Minister for Local Government, if we can hear from him as well. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Kosa. Let me give him the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me commend the maker of the statement for bringing this matter to the fore. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief in my remarks. I just want to put on record that if there is any policy or any issue that has a meeting of minds from both sides of the political divide,
I agree with you.
it is the issue of the election of MMDCE. Mr. Speaker, we may recall that the past government took up this policy and did various efforts to be able to have pushed us to the election of MMDCs. So all the two parties agreed to the election. The point of departure was whether or not it should be on partisan basis. Somehow we need to put a decision and make a move. It's an issue that is long overdue, and its implementation would ensure that we move our local governance system a step forward in shaping it and making it better for our national governance program. Given that the current government has overwhelming numbers to make this happen, and being committed to it, at least in the 2020 manifesto and 2024, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the way is very clear for our friends in government to make do with this policy. And we, on this side of the divide, are ever ready to give government every support. And we count on them. I believe that this conversation should trigger some roadmap that we can immediately put in place and ensure that we make our governance at the local level better by adopting this move. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Former Minister. Yes, Honorable Richard Achampong.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to add my voice to the call by the honorable colleague for members of the country to take a decision to elect our MMDCs. Mr. Speaker, we can say that in principle, all political parties do agree that we should elect our MMDCE. But when you are in opposition, you feel it better than in government. Because always there's a tough war between the MPs and the MMDCE. So right now, we thank God that the Constitutional Review Committee is working. So let's come together, put up the proposal, what we want them to do, so that they incorporate our views, so that by the end of the day, Ghanaians will take a decision, so we'll see the pathway. Because we've read these issues over and over and over, but there's no resolution to this matter. Other people are saying the president should nominate 3 people, present them to Public Service Commission, vet them and present them for elections. And the president should retain the power to sack those people. Because if he's appointing, he must have the power to also sack them. But another school of thought is also saying, if you present the candidate for the people to elect them, if you want to sack the person, give them the power to put in a petition so that based on the findings, that person is sacked. These are the controversies around all these things. So let's try to fashion out a modality which will work for all of us. Because if you're an MP and you're not in good terms with the DCE, giving the mere instruction will never solve any problem. Because the DCE himself is interested to unseat you. So the resource that goes to the DCE, he will use that resource to undermine the work of the MP. So let's have a pathway. How do you want to achieve it? Free for all, so everybody can pick a form, contest elections, and win, and become the DCE. But people are also saying the person is representing the central government or the president at the local level. So if the person is not aligned with the visions and ambitions of the president, the DCE will sabotage the work of the president of the day. So by the end of the day, like we are trying to do this time around, we are sending about 80% of the resources to the local assembly for development. And this is a DCE elected by the people who is coming from a different political party, who is refusing to implement the policies and programs of the government of the day. How can the government achieve its set goals and objectives? So these are some of the areas we need to explore and develop it well. So that by the end of the day, the person is elected, there may be some monitoring system put in place to check whoever is appointed or elected. When it comes to security, the person is in charge of DISEC. The president will be visiting the constituencies or the district. Who is going to provide security for the president if the person is not in the same government with the government of the day? So these are some of the things. National security is there, but you know what people can also do.
Honorable Richard Achampon, please address me.
Mr. Speaker, for example, if you come to the president visits Bia East, the resident of the DCE will accommodate the president. And this DCE belongs to a Kwadonko party. I'm talking about a situation where you don't have any other means than to host the president. Even drinking water becomes a challenge. No, we are dealing with human beings. And I'm not shutting the door. But let's think around all these things so that we can fashion up a roadmap as to how to proceed. Either free for all, or the president will appoint 3 people, present them to. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the committee is working. We can make an input so that by the end of the day, there will be sanity, we'll get value for money, and people will be responsible because they have been voted for. If they don't discharge their duties well, they know the people can vote against them the next day. Like members of parliament, every 4 years, you subject yourself to the people for re-election. So if you don't conduct yourself well, by the end of the day, they will punish you through the ballot box. So I think it's a good call, but let's see how we navigate all this paths so that by the end of the day, we'll get to know that people are given resources to work they are responsible, and we can also go to sleep that there's no mischief. Nobody is going to undermine the work of the government of the day. It's not by NDC or MPP. After 20, 30 years, MPP will come to power. The same thing will come to play. The same thing will come to play. So let's try to see how we navigate this. So by the end of the day, we will stop the talking and we'll move to real action. Because we've been lamenting over this over and over and over. Let's come together. Let's present a paper to the commission so that they will incorporate it, and then the implementation will come to all of us. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Richard Achampong. Honorable members, as a member of Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs Committee at the material time that the Constitutional Amendment Bill came before this House, and rising to become the immediate past ranking member of Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, I think it is important to add my voice to the statement ably made by Honorable Nana Agyeman. Honorable members, we normally talk about this issue, election of the district chief executives or MMDCEs, looking at Article 243(1). But we don't look at Article 243 in a whole and relate it to the challenges in amending the Constitution at the material time. Honorable members, on this issue, both the minority and the majority at all material time are in support of the MMDCEs being elected. You can even see it from the contribution of members on this particular statement. I recall when they came to amend the Constitution, they introduced the bill. But before the second reading, at the committee meeting, there were two challenges. One was the modality in electing the MMDCEs so that it doesn't pose a problem that Richard Achampong mentioned. But the consolation was that the districts or the MMDCEs, once they are in charge of the district assembly, and the district assembly is supposed to be politically neutral, that may not be a major issue. What came before us was to amend Article 243(1). However, if you amend Article 243(1) without amending Article 243(3), there will be a challenge. Because as we speak, the constitutional imperative currently is that the MMDCE must be nominated by the president and confirmed by the assembly members by a vote of 2/3 majority. Thereafter, the president will appoint them. The president then becomes the appointing authority. In view of that, Article 243 gives the power to the president to revoke the appointment of the district chief executive. Honorable members, let's look at it together. The office of the district chief executive shall become vacant if a vote of no confidence, supported by a vote of not less than 2/3 of all the members of the district assembly, is passed against him. 2, he is removed from office by the president, or he resigns or dies. Honorable members, we can better understand this if you look at Article 249 of the Constitution. It states, subject to a procedure established by law, the mandate of a member of the district assembly may be revoked by the electorate or the appointing authority. Now, we have two categories of the assembly members: the elected members and the appointed members. So for the elected members, their appointment can be revoked by the electorate. Then those appointed, it can be revoked by the appointing authority. Now, when you take away the power of appointment to give it to the electorate, why then would a district chief executive elected by the people be removed from office by the President of the Republic of Ghana? Then that really poses a challenge, because an ordinary member of the assembly elected by the people can only be removed from office by the electorate. So if the district chief executive is elected, why should the president have the power to remove that chief executive from office? So the view is that the power to remove such a person should be given to the electorate. And at second reading, we realize that unless Article 243 of the Constitution is amended in a whole, we may not be solving the problem that we really want to solve. All members, we agree that they need to be elected. As we speak, in the eyes of the general public, when they talk of the common fund, it is you, the MPs. We, the MPs, the public is of the view that we are responsible. But in reality, and by the formula that we've been approving, it is the MMDCEs that control that particular fund. It is only 5% that is distributed among the members of parliament. And even that, it doesn't go to them directly. It is paid into a designated account at the assembly. And unless and until that district chief executive signs the disbursement form, no money can come from that particular account. So sometimes it gives me much interest as how a lecture in metaphysics will give to a child of 10 years when they are expecting you to account for money that you don't control. You are not a signatory to the check of that 5%. They even ask you to account for the common fund. Most people do not know that it is only 5% that is distributed among members of parliament. And all that you can do as a member of parliament is to write to them to refer to the formula for the usage and see whether they can drill a borehole in this community or renovate a classroom structure in this community. That is the limit of your responsibility. I will urge the media to help us educate the general public that when we talk about the common fund, it goes to the assembly, 100%. It's only 5% distributed among members of parliament that you can authorize projects to be executed by it. Today, if there is a project need in your constituency, without talking to the district chief executive, you receive a call from the media that there is a challenge in this constituency. What are you doing about it? And what can your 5% do? They will leave somebody who controls the 80% and be talking to you who controls only 5%. And even that 5%, you cannot sign the check. If you even ask them that, have you spoken to my district chief executive on this project? Hey, you have a problem. So I think we owe it as a duty to carry the public along so that they will agree with us that the only way the district chief executive can really be accountable is when they are elected. Then they can be accountable to the people. Excuse me to say that there are some people that you even expect them to know that when it comes to issues of DDF, you don't even come in. The District Development Fund, you don't even come in at all. But because of the 5% of the common fund distributed, they call you on district development project instead of speaking to the district chief executive. So, honorable members, I believe we are all at it Eden that the constitution should be amended and Article 243 to be looked at as a whole so that we really give effect to the meaning and the sense that we want to realize from amending the constitution in order to allow the MMDCEs to be elected. Honorable members, it is true that it is in the 2024 manifesto of the NDC that the constitution should be amended to give way to the MMDCEs to be elected. But as we know, a constitutional review committee has been put in place. They are looking at the recommendations of the FIAJO Constitutional Review Committee, and they will also come out with a holistic proposal as to the various provisions in the Constitution that has to be amended in order to bring it up to date, because our Constitution is 30 years. The issue, therefore, is, do we want the Constitution to be amended in pieces, or we want the amendment to be done in a whole? I believe strongly that the chairperson of the Constitutional Review Committee, Professor Prempre, would listen to us. The members of the committee will also listen to us, and they will take into consideration any proposed amendment to Article 243 of the Constitution, so that we can all give effect to electing the MMDCEs. I believe when this is done, it will ease pressure. The public will then be aware when there is a need for development. They will know what to or who to talk to directly. Honourable members, there is this issue that I want to use the opportunity to explain. When it gets to election, because the MMDCEs are not elected, you, the MP, in campaigning, you carry your party manifesto. And that is your party manifesto's promise, that when my government comes to power, we will do A, B, C, D. It is you who carries the manifesto. But when it comes to the implementation of the manifesto, the resources for the implementation of the manifesto is rather sent directly to the assembly. So you are confronted with the challenge of you telling them that your classroom will be renovated. However, the resources is not given to you to do the renovation, but rather it is the MMDCEs who are not elected who have control over the resources. I think we need to do a bit of public education and really carry the public along, because to them, once it is you who carry the manifesto and they have elected you, they are expecting you to come and do the project irrespective of whoever controls the resources. So, honourable members, I think we can come together and ensure that the needed constitutional provisions are amended to actually give way for the Constitution to be amended. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to also add my voice to the statement ably made by Nana Ajimai. Honourable members, we also have another statement standing in the name of Honourable Nelson Kofi Jaba, MP for Kratchi East constituency on the price modification in response to the cedi appreciation against the major trading currency. Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this great opportunity to bring to the attention of this august House a matter of great concern to the Ghanaian, especially the consuming public. The situation at hand is significant appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the major trading currencies, while prices of goods and services remain largely unchanged. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian cedi has long been characterized by persistent volatility, often undermining economic stability and investor confidence. For years, the currency has been on a steady downward trajectory against major international currencies such as the US dollar, British pound, euro, and Japanese yen. In 2024 fiscal year, Mr. Speaker, the cedi was ranked among the 4 worst performing currencies in the sub-Saharan Africa, according to Bloomberg and the World Bank report in August and October, respectively. In November 2024, the cedi depreciated by 3.95% against the dollar, making a cumulative decline of nearly 29% in the year, translating to 17.10 cedis to $1 American dollar. Mr. Speaker, according to Ghana Statistical Service report, inflation rose to 23.8% in December 2024. Food inflation jumped from 25.9% to 27.8%. In such a profound hardship, the vulnerable Ghanaian population bore the brunt of the impact as the rising cost of living significantly diminished household purchasing power. Mr. Speaker, currently the Ghanaian cedi has demonstrated a remarkable turnaround, shifting from one of the sub-Saharan African's worst performing currency in 2024 to the best performing currency globally in 2025. In the year May 2021, in 21st May 2025, the cedi had appreciated against all the currencies by 24% against the US dollar, 16.2% against the British pound, and 14.1% against the euro, according to the Bank of Ghana reports. Mr. Speaker, headline inflation has declined consecutively in the first 4 months of the year by 2.6%, went to 21.2% in April, down from 23.5%, 23.1%, and 22.4% in January, February, and March, respectively. Food inflation has declined to 25% from 26%, while non-food inflation has dropped to 17.9% from 18.7%. It is anticipated that inflation could fall to 12% by the end of 2025. Mr. Speaker, prices of petroleum products have witnessed the biggest decline at the pump since May 16, 2025. Petrol and diesel are now selling for 13.27 cedis and 14.40 cedis per liter, respectively. Transportation fares has been reduced by 15% since 24th May 2025. These reliefs are born out of a result of the Bank of Ghana and government's prudent fiscal operations to confront economic challenges in the country. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the cedi appreciation, decline of inflation, reduction of transport fares, and decline of petroleum prices, food and non-food prices remain largely unchanged, which the consuming public are greatly dissatisfied with. If the cedi's depreciation warranted prices increases in the past, it is only fair and just that its appreciation leads to corresponding price reductions. This is not only a matter of economic policy, but also of social equity and consumer protection. The upward trend should translate into lower prices of goods and services, similar to how fuel prices and transportation fares have been reduced. The currency stability should benefit consumers, thus, there should be some relief to the consuming public. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has assured consumers of price reductions in the cost of goods and services in the next 60 days. However, it remains prudent for Parliament as a major arm of government to call on the trading community to adjust their prices in response to the current appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the other major trading currencies. Mr. Speaker, therefore, I humbly call on the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, and all relevant stakeholder groups within the supply chain, including importers, wholesalers, resellers, and market associations, to act in good faith and reflect the current economic realities in their price mechanisms. To conclude, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the opportunity granted me, and I salute the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, and all stakeholders for their relentless efforts in the cedi appreciation. I urge this House to lend its voice in calling for transparency and fairness in market practices. Let us ensure that the gains from the currency's appreciation are not limited to macroeconomic indicators, but are felt directly by the ordinary Ghanaian. We owe it to our constituents to advocate for responsive and equitable marketplaces. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity granted me.
Honourable members, statement ably made, and it is for contribution by honourable members. Any contribution? Yes, Honourable Dr. Kabiru. Did I pronounce the name well? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just to say that the clerk at the table calls it Karibu. So take note next time. For the 2 days of pronunciation, you've been calling my name Karibu. And the middle name is Tia, not Taya. So just for the Mr. Speaker, the make of the statement brought to the fore an important issue of how the exchange rate, i.e. the Ghanaian cedi, is appreciating, but we don't have a corresponding decrease or upward trends in the prices of goods and services in the market. Mr. Speaker, over the past 2 weeks, we have labored in the political discourse, tried to dissect the causes of the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi, and different views have been proffered, Mr. Speaker. There are some school of thought that holds the view that the reasons for the appreciation of the Ghana cedi is because of the reserve position we have, which the President of the Republic himself has admitted. There are others who also think that the fiscal policy of government is contributing, i.e. government being heavy-handed in cutting expenditure
and holding the purse tight. And there are other people who hold the view that the monetary policy by the central bank is contributing. Mr. Speaker, all these reasons are by conjecture. In other words, we are trying to assign possible reasons for the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. We don't have, as of now, concrete reasons because no modeling has been done by way of causal relationship to determine which of these factors are contributing to the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. So we are living in a realm of conjecture, and because those factors we are mentioning are all possible causes of the appreciation of the cedi, it is well and good, and it's within the right of everyone to mention them. But we don't know what is actually contributing. We can only conjecture. But those conjectures are reasonable, rational conjecture they can make. Mr. Speaker, we know that the forex and price relationship is something that we have always been lamenting. But, Mr. Speaker, you don't expect prices to decrease just because exchange rate is coming down. It is only that part of the exchange rate that is imported, i.e., that part of the prices of goods and services that is imported into the country that we expect to decrease. So if we do not have imported inflation, you don't expect the rate at which prices of goods and services to be coming down to be that significant. So if we look at the basket of goods and services, and we so realize that much of the goods consumed are coming from outside the country, then rationally and reasonably, any adjustment in our exchange rate, the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi should have a corresponding decrease in prices of goods and services in the market. Mr. Speaker, we are not talking about a decrease in prices, but we have to look at the rate at which the prices are increasing, because we've not had negative inflation. And if inflation is 10%, you don't expect goods and services to decrease in the market. You are only expecting the rate at which the prices are increasing to slow down. So when people say, oh, inflation is coming down, prices of goods should come down, it is not so a logical statement to make, Mr. Speaker, because inflation, until we have disinflation, prices of goods and services will expect to at least adjust upwards. And Mr. Speaker, there's another reason. There's another reason why prices of goods and services... Mr. Speaker, there's another reason why prices of goods and services are not coming down. Mr. Speaker, there is this principle, the Keynesian principle of sticky prices. Sticky prices is a very well-tested principle in economics by Mr. Keynes, a Nobel Prize winner. Mr. Speaker, in the short run, because markets do not adjust so quickly, we've only experienced 1 month depreciation of the currency. Only 1 month. And it is so short a time for us to have a corresponding decrease in prices, because prices are not sticky downwards, especially in the prices are not able to adjust to changes in aggregate demand and supply in the short time. And because of that, that is the reason why we are having the slow pace of the disinflationary pressure that we expect to see. Mr. Speaker, another reason is that traders have acquired goods at certain prices. The stock of goods acquired are supposed to finish before they can talk of increasing or decreasing prices. If I go to, say, China, and I bought 100 bags of, say, clothing, each at $100, and I come to the country, and the prices are, our cedi is increasing, I have to finish the stock before I can begin to consider reducing prices. Otherwise, there's what we call the fear pricing. If I reduce to clear now, if I go and the exchange rate should appreciate, or the dollar should gain value, I cannot buy the same stock. So it is only reasonable for the traders to behave the way they are behaving, and until we do something significant about the structure of the economy, we will expect this particular thing to... Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, there's nothing the government can do about the price situation. That's the unfortunate situation. Because we have committed to ourselves liberal pricing regime. And that's what the Minister for Trade and Industry stated. Unfortunately, they cannot go to the market and ask people to reduce prices. Government can do absolutely nothing about it. That is the reality we have to face, we are faced with. Because prices of goods and services are determined by demand and supply, and the traders are at will in the liberal market to set prices. If you have the wherewithal to buy, you come and buy. If you don't have the wherewithal, then we have to reintroduce control regime, and that we have for so long abandoned. Price control is no more part of our economic management basket of tools we use to manage our economy. Unless, of course, we want to go back there. So, Mr. Speaker, government can do very little, but we can use moral suasion. Moral suasion in the sense that the continuous application or appeal to the conscience of the trader that, look, when the general conditions of the economy is good, you must reflect that in your pricing. Once we do that, I'm sure some traders out of magnanimity would try to adjust their prices down. Mr. Speaker, the other solution to this is the sustained appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi, or if we have this current appreciation of the cedi to sustain for a long time, the prices can then adjust to this appreciation in the long term. But if we have it to be so, if like erratic, that the next month it will appreciate, the next month it will depreciate, traders cannot balance their books. Traders cannot plan for this particular erratic exchange rate. So the way forward is for government to make sure that the current gains we are experiencing in the market, and let me comment the government.
Honorable Kabiru, the current trend.
I think the current gains in the Ghanaian cedi, if I have to complete the statement, Mr. Speaker, the current gain in the Ghanaian cedi is something commendable. And the reasons we have all argued about are well for everyone to see, i.e. the foreign exchange reserve position that we built for them, to the fiscal and monetary policy adherence to by the current government, and also the gold purchase program that we instituted and it was inherited by this current government. These are the possible causes of the appreciation of the cedi, and we have to commend the government for achieving that. And we will all be happy to have a very stable exchange rate regime because it benefits every Ghanaian. It has nothing to do with NDC, it has nothing to do with MPP. Every single person in the market feels the impact of exchange rate volatility. And it is a point that we need to order. So we are encouraging on the Minister for Finance to do more about the structure of the economy, the production sector. And it's quite unfortunate that the Minister of Finance is not spending. Mr. Speaker, if you are not producing, if the wheel, the driver of the economy, the main spender in the economy is not spending, production is going to shrink. And once production shrinks, it goes into your export capacity. And once your export capacity is endangered, it goes into the revenue you will get, and the size of the economy shrinking means that you cannot compete favorably with other countries. Mr. Speaker, that is the danger we are faced with a government decision not to spend. And I'm just encouraging the Minister for Finance to at least start to spend in the productive sectors. The government must start to spend in the productive sectors. Mr. Atu to spend. Salary, so, Mr. Speaker, it's quite unfortunate when people say government is spending on salary. Consumption has never been a determinant of the growth of your economy. Consumption, the size of your expenditure going into consumption determines how serious you are as a country or otherwise if you want to grow. And I think that when people talk about payment of salary and compensation, they should think that we are talking about expenditure into the agri sector. How much of our production will help the farmers to grow? We are talking about production into the industries. How many factories are we setting? We are talking about production into the construction of roads. What is the investment we are doing in social and capitals? These are the expenditure we are expecting the government to think about. These are the areas we want the government to think about. But not to say you are paying salaries. Of course, every government pays salary. It is not the salary that we are interested in. We are interested in production, the productive sector of the economy. That is not what we are seeing, because since the government has come to power, almost 6 months, nothing has been done to increase the productive capacity of the Ghanaian economy. Absolutely nothing. And if anyone knows of anything that has been done to improve the productive capacity of the economy, the person can say it.
Honourable Member, I refer to Order 93.5 and to say that your time is up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And let me just conclude. Let me conclude by saying that, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
Honourable Erikafu, you have the floor.
Let me thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. for the opportunity to make a contribution to this insightful statement. Mr. Speaker, let me also thank the maker of the statement for bringing this to fore of what is happening in the country, which most of us, especially those on the other side, wanted to know the causes of the appreciation of the cedi and the depreciation of the hard currencies in the world. Mr. Speaker, let me put on record that the appreciation of the cedi that my colleagues, the other side, wanted to know the causes of it is not a magic. It's not a magic. It's a good handiwork. It's a good handiwork of this government. Mr. Speaker, my friends should not forget that Ghanaian economy is an imported-oriented. Listen to me. We're in a classroom. It's import-oriented. Import-oriented means that we import so much into the country. And therefore, the costs you're going to hear are not to be elaborated in the course of the week. But let me tell you that it is the prudent management of the import sector of this economy. It's the prudent management of the import sector of this economy. More so, Mr. Speaker, let me say that the government expenditure that my colleague is talking about, that the governor to spend and spend. Let me tell everybody here, note that government expenditure is an injector to the contribution and the development of the country. Go and read. Go and read macroeconomics. It's an injector. And therefore, if the government will spend the 293 billion appropriated to the government, Mr. Speaker, it will go and increase the development of the economy. We are going to spend within the prudent sectors, productive sectors. So please, I'm very happy that my colleague applauded the government before he sat down, that he supported the government for this good thing that we have done in the country. Let me come back to the prices. You see, when this happens like that, it doesn't take 2 days, 3 days, 2-3 days to let the prices, go down. Naturally, automatically, the price will reform within itself. So please, Mr. Speaker, let me clear the air that the appreciation of the cedi, depreciation of the hard currencies is not a magic. It's a good handiwork of this government. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honourable member, you have the floor. The
Thank you,
indication
Mr.
is
Speaker.
to take 1-1.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, are you?
Very well. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement made by my honorable colleague. I think it's important that as a House, this conversation has come so that we'll be able to at least straighten some of the issues that has been going on in the public space, and also to encourage the government to do what is right to sustain this appreciation of the cedi as we see today. Let me start by commending government for what is happening. After all, at the end of the day, they are the people in power and the ones that in their time we are experiencing this particular appreciation of the cedi. But the reality is that this is not the first time cedi has appreciated in the history of this country. If you go back to 2017, 2018, 2019, up to 2020, Ghana was made and known as one of the best managed economies in this country. Until your most popular COVID-19 struck. And then as a result of that, the statement by His Excellency, the President of the time, that during such crisis, the economic situation of a country can go down as we save lives, because lives you cannot reverse. But when economic situation goes on the downturn, you can put in pragmatic measures to get it reversed. It is out of this big vision of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, that led this country as of December 2024 to see a remarkable recovery in this economy of Ghana. Per the budget statement read by Honorable Ato Forson and the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahamad's statement, it is on record that the reserves of this country that was put together by the MPP government, which gave us 30 tons of gold, was the foundational basis upon which the subsequent purchase of gold by PMMC and then by the Gold Board gave us the leverage to pump in much more foreign exchange that is causing the depreciation or the appreciation of the cedi against the other foreign currencies. That is factual. Now, the question I want to put on record is that as much as we give Ato Forson the glory for what is going on, our advice is that this again is not the first time, because gold is at its appreciable highest level. Cocoa is also selling at a very good rate. But this will never be there forever. Every time when we glory, we don't put in place the structures that build the sustainability of this country. And so when the minister is here, or what Sammy George is listening, when he goes to cabinet, he should advise the government that Ghanaians are looking at not only the appreciation today, but the sustainability of it, so that we have a more stronger economy that will stand the test of time. And to do that, it is important that government comes up with policies, clear-cut policies that grows the economy. You cannot always rely on gold that is being pushed into the market, because as I said, gold has appreciated to over $3,000 to $3,500. And we've come from a situation where gold was as low as $800 to $1,000. So the dynamics can change. So when they change, where would be our fundamentals? Since January till date, government additional support or addition to the gold reserves of this country is less than 1 ton. That is on record. And so if for 5 months you have added only less than 1 ton, and we are going into the middle of the year to the end of year, what is the strategic direction of the government to make sure that we build up our reserves to be able to stand the shocks that may come in future? We don't want to see this economy crumble. We are happy to see this economy succeed. And when it succeeds for all of us. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't caution government. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't give government the needed cross-checking to make sure that the government does what is necessary. The production sector of this country, government has come here to pass legislations. Bills have been given to us. Taxes have been removed. Which of the taxes so far that we have handled in this house, which of them goes to the core of the productive sector of this economy? None. So it is important that during the second half of Parliament up to the end and the review budget, government should come up with policies that will grow the economy so that we'll be able to grow diversify our exports and bring in much more foreign currency to develop this country. With this, Mr. Speaker, I want to still commend government because it is their time. Let them enjoy and make hay while the sun shines. But as much as possible, they should also make sure that they show us the pragmatic, sustainable way in keeping the CD up.
And
With this
ensure
and
the
very
data
few
cost
words, I
comes
want to
down.
thank you,
Sam
Mr.
George.
Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Add that
Yes.
Sam George to ensure that data.
Yes, Honorable. Honorable there. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to commend my colleague, the backbencher, Jabab, for making such a beautiful such a well-researched statement. I listened to the statement very carefully, and I can confirm that all the figures that he actually sought to bring to the fore are correct, and they actually went to inform what he put out, and I think that is commendable. Indeed, let it be on record, as it is always said, that Parliament is a house of record. Therefore, there are certain things that when we say on the floor of Parliament, we need to anchor it based on things that have happened here. Indeed, what is happening, and everybody in Ghana must be proud of, is the appreciation of our currency, the cedi. And if you do a simple research by Googling the effect or cause of the cedi's appreciation, nothing would be hidden from the fact that key to this is the fiscal discipline that this government has championed. It is a major cause of the cedi's appreciation against all major currencies, including the almighty dollar. That is a fact. Indeed, I am happy that it came from my colleague who made a statement before me that the issue of increasing our gold reserve is part of it, and he tried to link it to the past government. But indeed, we are in Parliament, and it is a known fact that what actually led to sanitizing how we harness our gold reserves, it's all anchored on what we passed, we labored to pass, the law we labored to pass in this house, which led to the creation of the gold board. That is a creation of the current government, and it is part of what we are seeing today. The fruits we are harnessing today or seeing today, the creation of the gold board is a major cause of it. Indeed, other factors can be adduced or can be said to relate to this, including global shifts, which has actually made the dollar weaker against all major currencies in the world. That is also a fact of it. And we can also say prices of major exports, including gold and cocoa that Ghana exports, can also be attributed to this. These are facts that the Parliament of Ghana on the floor must be making so that we educate everybody, including our children and students who are learning from us. I will limit my contribution, guided by Order 93.5, which requires that we are brief in commenting on statements made by other people, by pointing out that it is necessary that in commenting on such things, we also try to postulate some solutions or proffer some solutions that will lead it into a better future. Critical in what we must actually do is to ensure that what this government is doing right now, which is the physical discipline required to stabilize this economy, we maintain it. It is very, very necessary that we do that. It is also important that we diversify this economy. That is why it is necessary for us to actually applaud the government that all the policies, the underlying factors that are supporting what we are calling the 24-hour economy, by diversifying our export, by producing more, enhancing our agribusiness, etc. These are things that will go to increase our exports and therefore stabilize the city and lead to better economy. These are things that we need to be debating about. These are things that we need to point out so that people who listen to Parliament can learn that we actually are discussing matters that will lead to Ghana's better future. I commend my colleague for bringing this to the fore, and I am happy that the speakers that came before me pointed out that the issue of ensuring that, or going to ensure that our prices remain the same or are doused, cannot be done by going to coerce anybody in the market, but this would actually be done by ensuring that the forces of demand and supply are brought to bear on the situation. And that is exactly what the government is doing. And that is why all the agents that are necessary to ensure that this thing is done, the likes of GUTA, the likes of market associations, etc., are all being brought to see the benefits that we inure to this country, particularly the business community, from the stabilization of the city. I thank the maker of the statement, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to comment on it. Thank you very much.
Yes, leaders.
Speaker, with your indulgence, may I yield my place to Honorable Onyina?
You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to add my voice to the commentary that is going on the statement that has been made. Mr. Speaker, for the sake of nationalism, we are all happy when the city appreciates, because it brings some form of relief to everyone in the country. Various speakers have given reasons or attempted to give reasons why we are experiencing this appreciation of the city. I think one thing that was left out was a $490 million IMF bailout that has been injected also into the system. Now, other speakers mentioned the gold reserves and the appreciation in terms of the value of the prices that we receive from our major exports, including gold and cocoa. Mr. Speaker, you realize that there hasn't been any form of ingenuity. Nothing new has been done from what the previous government was doing. Mr. Speaker, ingenuity is formed when we are in crisis situations. Remember, when we had crisis situations, is where the gold for reserves and gold for oil policies were backed by the previous administration. In this sense, we are not seeing any ingenuity. It's all well and good that it's going well for the country. The Speaker, my colleague from the other side said there has been fiscal discipline. I'd like to reiterate that physical discipline is not equal to not spending. Fiscal discipline is not equal to not paying your contractors or not paying your suppliers. Fiscal discipline is when you have put in concrete measures to ensure that your currency is stable and to ensure you remain well within your budgetary allocations. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the prices and why they are not going down, one reason we can give is the constant increase in the cost of production. If the cost of production for our goods are still high, when, for example, we can see in the price of cement at the moment that even though the cedi is appreciating, the price of cement has moved from 80 cedis to now between 125 cedis and 135 cedis. If the cost of production continues to go high in the country, then even though the cedi is appreciating, we will still have higher prices. Number two is seeming lack of confidence in the current appreciation of the cedi. When people are expecting that the cedi will not be stable, but will continue to, it might also depreciate in the near future, then they are not going to reduce their prices. The Speaker, I would like to also have, draw the attention of policymakers on the fact that the key word is stability of the cedi. We risk having high prices for our export commodities if the cedi continues to appreciate to a certain level. For example, if we get 1 cedi to $1, it means that eventually the prices of our commodities internationally are going to go high, and we are going to be less competitive in the international front. So there has to be a point where the cedi stabilizes so that our prices in the international front will be competitive when it comes to us competing with other countries. Mr. Speaker, to end, I would like to add my voice to moral suasion. I'd like to also plead with businessmen and business people and people of industry in this country to make sure that our prices come down. Because sometimes prices will go, when immediately prices go up, they will increase their prices. But when prices come down, then they'll give all manner of excuses why they cannot reduce their prices. Because they want to be earning all this profit higher than what they should be earning. So I'd like to plead with people of industry that once the cedi is appreciating and the prices of imports are going down, that it means that they should also help the country by reducing their prices and ensuring that the economy is all well and good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Yes, my Majority Chief Whip, Deputy Majority Chief.
No,
I'll give you the floor. Let's hear him.
yeah. Yes.
He says he's concluding.
I will give you the floor before ending the time for statement.
Mr. Speaker, that is
yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to commend the maker of the statement. But, Mr. Speaker, the content of the statement is very clear. Our colleague is begging business community to reduce their prices so that members will have a feel of the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. And then members are speaking different language, asking the cause of the appreciation. That wasn't the content of the statement. But end of the day, if prices of goods and services are reduced, all of us are going to benefit. If you go to the market, and ask of a price of a commodity, they will not ask of your political color or political affiliation. So please, we've seen the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. This is the time to also urge our brothers and sisters to also let the appreciation reflect on the lives of the people. So by the end of the day, This is an open market, and it's a customer-based market. So let's educate them. Do window shopping. If you go to shop A, and the price is 50 Ghana cedis, and you go to shop B, and it's 40 cedis, you buy the 40 cedis to punish the one who is selling at 50 cedis. But my noble friend was telling us what they did in 2014, 2024 has yielded all these positive results. Why is it that we did not see that appreciation in 2024? You did all these things, but the dollar was hovering around 18%. Let's peg it at 17%. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, if you owe somebody 10,000 Ghana cedis, you needed 170,000 Ghana cedis to pay that debt. Today, that same $10,000, you will need 110,000 Ghana cedis to pay the debt. You've made a savings of 60,000 Ghana cedis. Now, when they were in government, they didn't understand this economics. Now in opposition,
what is the meaning of umpe we upedien?
To wait, if you don't like this, what again do you expect from us?
So you know the rules.
Mr. Speaker, let's all support the call so that the appreciation will reflect on the lives of the ordinary person on the streets. So it's not about NDC, MPP. We have a policy called Gold for Forest and Gold for Reserves. The whole of 2024, the earnings from gold that we sold gave us about $4.3 billion. Up to April this year, Mr. Speaker, we've raked in $2.7 billion. Less than 4 months. 4 months, $2.7 billion. So if you are saying it's about 0.0 tons, it is giving us $2.7 billion. So just imagine, the whole of 2024, you got 4.3 billion. 4 months, 2.7 billion. Which one is better? Let's support this administration. We took over assets and liabilities. When you have challenges with the electricity, you said your mama. When cities appreciating, you said Baumia. You can't choose and pick. We are in charge. We are in charge. The government is disciplined in terms of expenditure. The governance of this nation. Mr. Speaker, the government is cutting back expenditure. We are not wasting too much resources. In the name of cathedral. How can you spend $58 million to dig a hole?
Honourable Member, take a look at Standing Order 93.5 and read it to the House.
Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues say that we are not paying
Honourable
contractors.
Member, let's look at Standing Order 93.5.
I'm telling you, we are paying contractors.
Honourable Richard Achampong.
We are paying call your contractor friends.
Honourable Richard Achampong.
We are paying contractors. So we are spending.
You are living in the dark.
Honourable Richard Achampong, let's look at Order 93.5.
Yes, we've started. We are paying.
Do you have payment certificate?
Yeah.
You do a payment certificate.
Honourable Richard Achampong, let's look at Order 93.5.
Contractors are not contractors.
We are paying contractors.
Yes. I said we are paying contractors.
Order.
Contractors.
Suppliers are contractors.
Yes.
Honourable Sam George, you don't have the floor.
And we are paying arrears.
We are not blocking
Mr. Speaker, I think I can proceed.
No, read it for the House. For the House, for the entire House.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I'm not getting...
Read it for the entire House.
Minority leader, you get the space to say whatever you want to say. Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, we are representing the good people of this country.
Are you disregarding the statement that I have made to you?
Mr. Speaker, I said 93.5. Mr. Speaker, 93.5. Their contribution has already provoked the debate.
I said,
and I'm responding to it. Yes, because they provoke
The simple language is read.
Mr. Speaker, 93.5. I read. A member may comment on the statement for a period not exceeding 5 minutes, and the comment shall not provoke debate. So I am correcting what they did. So, Mr. Speaker, we have one nation and we are one people. The Ministry of Finance is dealing with the fiscal aspect of the economy, and Bank of Ghana is also dealing with the policy aspect of it. Put the two together, we are just seeing this appreciation of the cedi. So it's not about any theory somebody is proposing that this fundamental, this blah, blah. Physically, we've seen what is happening. We are living it, and we are enjoying it. So let's thank this administration. Let's thank the good people of this country that they voted for a good administration, a good government. That's why we are benefiting under this administration. The era of MPP is gone. Now NDC is in charge. Just watch us. We are in charge. And we'll make sure we deliver on our mandate. Mr. Speaker, this is a good call. Like my good friend said, there's no way you can force any trader to reduce his or her prices. That one, you can't do that. But let's educate the customers so that they can also choose and pick, so that they can punish those people who are overpricing us. People are saying, oh, they've imported the goods already. They bought it at a higher price. Now the city is appreciating. If they reduce the prices, they can't go to the market and buy new stock. It's very laudable suggestion. But the point is, assuming the city is depreciating, would they wait for this? No. Quickly they will increase the prices. So let's try to find a balancing act here so that at least all of us will benefit. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Yes, honorable minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you most exceedingly for this precious space. Mr. Speaker, we are here as Democrats, and I believe that whenever we spot excesses of governance, this is the right forum to raise it. Fortunately, both parties have had the benefit of ruling this country.
Are you contributing to the statement, or what are you doing?
Mr. Speaker, I signaled you on notice that I'm raising a matter of national importance.
To grant the leave or not to grant the leave. But it's as if it is automatic, without me knowing what you want to say, then you want me to grant leave to raise an issue of urgent public importance. I think that is not the right way for us to go. We need to follow the procedure in exercising our rights.
With all due respect, when I entered the chamber, I, out of courtesy, engaged the available leader on the majority. Mr. Speaker, we are Democrats, and I do not intend to disrespect the chair. I will never do that. Mr. Speaker, the issue of a state institution Rambo styling to arrest a citizen and then keeping him in custody on inquiry bail, and Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader, by what authority are you speaking?
Very well. Mr. Speaker, respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. The situation where there is now an onerous bail condition that the person is on inquiry bail, but is being asked to procure property worth 50 million before he gains his freedom.
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect,
Mr. Speaker,
you order.
Mr. Speaker, let me finish.
Honorable Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
with all due respect, I think you are out of order.
I'm seeking your leave, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, bear with me. Mr. Speaker, please bear with me.
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect,
Mr. Speaker,
do what is needed first.
Mr. Speaker,
and when you do not want to do what is needed first, I also don't want you to be captured by the hazard.
Very well.
So I have accordingly.
Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect, I rise to seek your leave to raise a matter of urgent public importance. Mr. Speaker, I so apply, sir.
Yes, honorable members, I took the trouble to explain Order 93 and Order 67. I believed it is in the interest of justice for all of us to do what is required by the rules that guide us. Where you are invoking the order, do the needful. But I have not heard you stating you are even seeking leave. Then you began speaking. And when I rule you out of order, then your back is up singing.
Mr. Speaker, you know, you are showing promise. The future is very bright for you. You know, when Mr. Speaker retires, you are the shining star from Volta. You are the shining star from Volta. Mr. Speaker, you are a shining star from Volta. Nobody can compare. So, you are going to be a future speaker, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable members, by the rules that I have read, by the leave of the House and the leave of the Speaker, the available leader is on his feet. Let me hear.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, now that the minority leader is so humble and I've been so remorseful, I think you can grant him this space to say whatever you want to say. By the way, they are only 23 or 24 of them.
Mr. Speaker,
you don't have the floor.
You are a Democrat, and thank you for granting this space. Mr. Speaker, we as Democrats believe that rule of law must be enforced and enforced having human rights in mind. Mr. Speaker, the person involved in this matter, Mr. Nchubwe Siakon, popularly known as Chairman Wuntumi. Mr. Speaker, he's a known political figure in our country. He is the bona fide regional chairman of the MPP in Ashanti region. Mr. Speaker, he was invited by the police CID and he honored the invitation. The first day he was there, he was asked to report the next day. The next day was 27th of May, Tuesday. Mr. Speaker, he was there just at the entrance, exiting the police headquarters. 7 pickups accosted him and physically pulled him out of his car and took him to Iyoko. Mr. Speaker, as a party, we maintain our calm. A lawyer was procured by him. He went to Iyoko for the necessary interrogation. Then came the bail. In the bail, Iyoko is now demanding that he should procure property worth 50 million as justification. Mr. Speaker, our courts have had the occasion to rule in several cases, plethora of cases, that bail must not be used as a punishment. Mr. Speaker, there are two key conditions in my few years of practice in that area of the law, criminal law. The man must have a fixed place of abode and must assure that he will make himself available for any trial or any investigation. It can be reasonably argued that Wontumi has a fixed place of abode. Wontumi would make himself available for any investigation, especially when he himself drove from Kumasi to Accra. Mr. Speaker, if Iyoko needed him, like the way the police did, he would have gone there. But they accosted him at the entrance whilst he was in his car, pulled him out of his car, and took him there. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, Chairman Wontumi is still in the custody of NIB Iyoko, but has been sent to the NIB clinic. Mr. Speaker, Iyoko, I must emphasize, because this is a house of record, he is unwell now, and it's been 48 hours. Mr. Speaker, Iyoko does not have a health facility. So they have transferred him to the NIB health facility. NIB has a small clinic, but Mr. Speaker, is that clinic able to give him the treatment he needs? Mr. Speaker, all I am saying is that not too long ago, our friends opposite had cause to raise some of these issues. I am saying that the time has come for us as a country to pay attention to some of these excesses. If you are investigating the matter, and the very matter and the investigation is also a subject matter of a civil proceedings in our high court. If the state is minded, do your interrogation, grant him bail, self-recognizance to enable him come. Because the man is a chairman of a known political party who is always available. If, as it were, Chairman Wontumi was granted bail and he abused the terms of the bail, then you can now demand justification. Mr. Speaker, I must argue one more time that Iyoko cannot arrogate the power of demanding justification at the inquiry level. You are doing investigation. The matter is not before a court for trial. And then you make the bail conditions so onerous. It is clear that this is being used to punish him. And I expect my colleagues in this house, put aside your partisan colors. And I'm not a prophet, I'm only a mere mortal. Tomorrow, it may be you. Colleagues, don't be happy. Colleagues, today you are in government. 4 years is not far away from today. I am saying, let us encourage the right things to be done so that tomorrow you would have the courage, the moral courage to confront any such excesses. If you are in government today, you look unconcerned. Yes, I have the moral authority to raise it because all of you opposite me know the stance I took on human rights issues. That is why I have the moral authority. You know, colleagues, let's be fair. What is happening is not right. Mr. Speaker, NIB officials, the police are aware that anytime they had invited any member of our party or any former appointee, that member had availed himself or herself. I have been in the center of such cooperation where they reach out and then we engage and make sure that they are available. Mr. Speaker, I am pleading through this house that Iyoko must vary those onerous bail conditions. Wontumi may be just an individual, but this action taints our otherwise good reputation as a democratic country. Mr. Speaker, never should it ever happen to any politician that you will be leaving office and you start getting worried that what will happen to me tomorrow. We should freely serve our country. And Mr. Speaker, I am not in any way standing against accountability. Let the records bear me out. I support accountability, but accountability must be seen to being done. The rule of law must be followed. Due process must be followed. Mr. Speaker, let me quote Article 296 to conclude. No, 296. Mr. Speaker, 296, with your leave, I read. Where in this Constitution or in any other law, discretionary power is vested in any person or authority, A, that discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. B, the exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with due process of law. C, where the person or authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by the constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution or that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. Mr. Speaker, for my purpose, I am relying on 296A and B. Mr. Speaker, can the conduct of Iyoko be said to be fair and candid? I know.
Honorable Minority Leader, you are asking the House to make a pronouncement on the conduct of Iyoko?
I haven't said so. Mr. Speaker, I haven't said so.
So what do you expect us to do?
Mr. Speaker, I haven't said so. I am bringing to your attention, subject to the leave granted me, a matter of public national importance. Mr. Speaker, please permit me to proceed. Tomorrow, it may be you. Mr. Speaker, tomorrow, it may be you, and I'll be there for you. Mr. Speaker, tomorrow, today, some of our colleagues are in government. You can never tell. Something may happen that may not be your fault. We would all remain in this chamber, and you may call on us. You are in government today. 2028, you cannot be sure. We had 169 before. In less than 4 years, we were apart. So don't be too happy and don't be jubilated. I expect great friends on the other side to add their voice to this matter. Let's not be partisan. It may come back and haunt us. Mr. Speaker, B is talking about the discretionary power. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable John Dako, with all due respect, you are not the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, it is clear from what is happening that Iyoko is being capricious, that Iyoko is being biased, and, Mr. Speaker, we must not entertain it. Once he has his right to pursue the matter in another forum, I believe that for the good of democracy, Iyoko, without delay, must revoke and vary that onerous bail conditions. The man is still in the hospital. You are demanding 50 million worth of property. And Mr. Speaker, the sad part of it is that if the individuals go there, they build Mr. Speaker, the sureties. Colleagues, pay attention to this. Maybe today it is an MPP member. Please, when the person gets there, the surety, yesterday when one surety got there, they now said that the person to go and do inspection has closed. It's not available. You go there at 10 o'clock, they say it's not available. Mr. Speaker, we should not do this to ourselves as a country. It may be tomorrow that you will be the one at the receiving end. I so submit and pray that as a house, we will not be partisan in this matter, but we will move together and send a strong signal, not only to Yoko, but all state institutions, that look, do your work. Do your work, but respect the law. Do your work, but respect the law. There are many people who have appeared before investigative agencies, and they treat them with respect. They are doing their investigations, and when the time is up for you to go to court, you go to court. But the way we are treating ourselves, Mr. Speaker, it will come back and haunt us in 2029. Let's be careful. I am saying that until Iyoko is able to do the right thing, we, the MPP side, however our numbers, will protest by absenting ourselves from proceedings of this house and join him. We are all going to sleep there with him, and we are not going to ask for any property. We don't have 50 million worth of properties. Where is he going to get it from? That go and bring landed documents. Mr. Speaker, they must do the right thing, and we will not be part of any proceedings until the right thing is done. Mr. Speaker, I pray that my colleague opposite will support, so that with one voice, Yoko will know that when it got to this matter of Chairman Woon to me, Parliament was united with one voice in telling them that they should do the right thing. Thank you so much indeed.
Honorable members, I was thinking whether this is a matter to open up for a debate. He is seeking the leave of the House to draw the House attention to a matter of urgent public importance. And I have listened carefully to him. I will want the House to take a look at Article 125 of the Constitution, particularly clause 1, 2, and 3, and have the view as to what we should be doing in the circumstances. Honorable members, let me read. Article 125. Justice emanates from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic by the judiciary, who shall be independent and subject only to this Constitution. 2. Citizens may exercise popular participation in the administration of justice through the institution of public and customary tribunals and the jury and assessor system. 3. The judicial power of Ghana shall be vested in the judiciary. Accordingly, neither the President, nor Parliament, nor any organ or agency of the President or Parliament shall have or be given final judicial power. So he's drawn the attention to a matter of public urgent importance, and having regard to the constitutional principle, the supreme law of the land, above and beyond which no further law exists. What then is expected of Parliament? I believe this is a matter that can adequately be addressed by the judiciary. For me, if a decision of an institution can be challenged at the court, if a security agency poses a bail condition that you feel that the bail condition is harsh. I do not think Parliament will have the authority to call for a review of that particular decision. If a person is detained beyond the stipulated constitutional period, what we should do is very clear. So, in the circumstances, I will want to bring the statement time to an end. So, statement has accordingly ended. Deputy Majority Whip, any indication?
Now, what kind of report on my say report? Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, order. Yes, Deputy Majority Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the last item before us is supposed to be the health insurance report, but it's not ready. So, Mr. Speaker, we are in your hands. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to move that we bring proceedings to an end.
Honourable members, motion move for adjournment. Any seconder? Yes, Honourable Mutala.
Mr. Speaker, in seconding the adjournment of today's sitting, I don't know whether you permit me 30 seconds. I don't know.
On the floor is for adjournment.
Mr.
You
Speaker,
either
I
second the motion for
the-
adjournment or I give the floor to another person to
I
second it.
second the motion to adjourn proceedings.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the motion for adjournment has been moved and seconded. The question, therefore, is as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. The House is accordingly adjourned till Friday, 30th May 2025 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon.